Hi everyone. Happy Saturday evening. Jillian here. It's been a long time since I've done a live video, but I wanted to pop on because I wanted to show you some things and make a card. So you can see I've got some things already laid out here. This is a sketch challenge we're going to be working on. So I just wanted to show you the products and then we're going to make a card. So I'm just going to put those up top. I don't know if you can see them anymore or not, but I want to show you some things that became available at the beginning of this month. And I have just been so busy, I haven't been on here. So couple of things, couple of new embellishments. They actually coordinate with, this coordinates with DSP in a bundle. So I've got the DSP. This coordinates with the whole suite, which I did not purchase. Pearls of Beauty. So you're probably seeing that, but they are beautiful. And they are Calypso Coral, this white, and then Crumb Cake. Really pretty. These earthy matte dots are Cajun Craze, Early Espresso, Pecan Pie, and Lost Lagoon. And they coordinate with this paper that I'm going to be using. So we're going to dive into that in a second. But before we look at that, I want to show you a couple of other things. This new embossing folder, which is beautiful pattern. It's really pretty. I have used it on a couple of projects already. But just a really pretty, here, let me get a piece of colored cardstock so you can see. A really pretty, subtle background. And then I want to show you a couple of other things. Of course, I'm not going to be able to get this in there. There we go. So we are not, you know what, I'm just going to put it to the side. We're not using it. Okay, these are going to be the new cases. So because if you remember, Stampin' Up! Is moving to exclusively photopolymer, and they are changing their cases. So everything is going to come in these cases. So stamp sets are going to come in these, and so are the dies. Everything is changing to this format. So right now, if you want to if you wanted to change over your existing ones, you could. This is, I think this was a 5-pack. Oh, a 10-pack. So this is a 10-pack. So I plan to start to shift over like maybe some of those retired items that I know I'm always going to keep. I'm never going to sell. And this way they will take up less space. So something for you to consider. Again, I'm not going to get that inside there, so I'm not going to try. Okay, this paper I'm actually using, so I have it here in those samples, those little, so it is textured specialty paper. So it's white, Whispers of Texture specialty paper. And so there are 3 sheets each. There's 6 sheets in there, 12 by 12. And this one is like a sort of corrugated stripe. And then this other one reminds me of the Subtles background we used to have. So that's what those are. The other thing that is very exciting, vellum. So anyone who is missing vellum is back. This is a 12 by 12 pack, and you get 12 sheets. So 12 sheets of 12 by 12 vellum. And then I'm just going to show you, so this DSP that we're using, super fun, and it is called Hobby Haven. So if you are someone who just likes this kind of stuff, I get a lot of custom orders. So that's sort of why I picked this one up, because I liked the potential it had. So there are, as always, you know, 12 sheets, 2 of each. So you've got this one with all the books, the lamps, etc. And on the back side of that is this fun. So the colors in here, you've got Pecan Pie, you've got Lost Lagoon, we've got Cajun Craze, We've got, I think, Pretty in Pink. Let me look at the, sorry. Basic Beige, Cajun Craze, Coastal Cabana, Daffodil Delight, Early Espresso. Oh, that's what color that is. Garden Green, Lost Lagoon, Mossy Meadow, Pecan Pie, Petal Pink, and Secret Sea. Okay, so you've got those ones. And then this is like, you know, for all your spa folk. So you got all the, you know, spa things. And then the back of that. And then here's the people who love to bake, cook. Also, we've got like coffee and tea themed things there. And then the back of this would be your Garden Green. And then this one is plants. And then you can see like just cozy chairs and stuff. Super cool. Back of that, we have our Petal Pink. And then we have for our sewing people, sewing, crocheting, knitting, needlepoint. And on the back of this, we have Coastal Cabana. And then it's one of these packs that comes with 2 sheets of punch out shapes. So those are what I'm using on these cards. So super fun. There is a stamp set and dies that loosely coordinates. It doesn't cut out any of these shapes. It is more sentiments, and then it's like shapes like tags and that kind of thing. So you can see it now. It's in the online's exclusive, so you can find that online, but I did not purchase it. So I'm gonna bring these back in. We're gonna play around with this. So the sketch that I am trying to create, I'm just gonna show you. It is meant to be like your card front, and then it's meant to be a layer. So this is what I've got. I've got our layer, and then it is meant to be like a strip with 3 squares. And then I think the sentiment can kind of go wherever I want. I can't actually remember. So this is what we're making. So you can see I've kind of loosely already got that going on. So this is our 4 by 5 1/4. That's going to go on our card front. And then I've kind of done our 3 squares already. Now, my plan had been to actually put some vellum behind these. But I don't really know how well that's going to work now. But I do have a plan. So instead of putting some cardstock, which we could do, I thought, we would do masking and blending was kind of what I thought. So I'm just going to put these to the side. And then I realize now this is Coastal Cabana and Secret Sea, really, that we're working with there. So I want to create a line, and I could use my masking paper, but I could also just use washi tape. So I have a lot of washi tape, so I'm going to use that. I just have to be really careful. And I also need a scrap. So I'm going to move this guy off to the side. We're going to try this. It might work. It might be terrible. That's what makes it interesting. So we're going to get some washi, and then we're going to use that to blend in the lines. So I'm going to place this down. Actually, I'm going to place it down right in line with the edge. Okay, and then I am going to do this. And then I'm just going to kind of envision how this is going to look. So I actually need this to be a little bit wider. like I said, this might not be quite what the effect I'm hoping for, but we're gonna give it a whirl. Sorry, my camera, I realize now my mount, something's going on with my mount. So apologies if this is like tilted and if I'm making you nauseous now. Trying to straighten it out. Okay, so let me get my blending brush. And then I'm torn. We might use Secret C actually, because then I think that the Coastal Cabana is gonna pop on there. So I'm just gonna turn it sideways and I'm gonna ink this up. I don't want it to be super, super dark, so I'm really gonna just apply light pressure for now. We can always add more. The other thing it's gonna do is it's gonna bring out the texture in this paper. So that's where this paper will be really cool if you want to blend it, because then you're gonna really notice the texture, which I think is why they probably made it in white, so that we have that option. I totally could have used my bigger blending brush, but I'm so used to using my small ones. I do want this to be reasonably uniform, so I'm trying to make sure we're getting even pressure and even color saturation. Okay, I'm happy with that. All right, let's make sure this is in the view. I'm really sorry if this is like way too low. I'm gonna just raise it up a tiny bit. I feel like it's way too close. There we go. Okay, so now we're gonna take this tape off. Oh, you can see I went outside the, oh, I totally went, no, I thought I was doing such a good job. I did not. Huh, well, how about that? Okay, well, we've kind of got a interesting effect going on here. We're just gonna keep going because I don't want to waste this, but you can kind of see where I've got like a whole nother line, and now this is like also looks like it's got a stripe. That's okay, we're gonna work with it. So my plan then had been to put these here as if I had, you know, the squares. This is actually 2, but I liked the idea of that. And then I had actually been thinking of using some vellum there. But I think on this one, we're just going to leave it. So now we have a couple of options. We could do a Coastal Cabana card base to sort of draw out that color. So we could do that. It's gonna really pop behind it, which I kind of like. Or we could do Secret C. I can't actually, I mean, if you comment, I would love it, but I don't have this hooked up really to be viewing your comments at the moment. Or we could do that. So I can actually see your comments. So if you are watching and want to comment, like, so would you put that on that Secret C background? Or would you put it on the Coastal Cabana? I think maybe actually I like it on the Secret C. So we're going to do a Secret C card base. And then that gives us some options for like sentiment and embellishments, etc. Okay, so I'm going to cut a card base. Bring it over. I'm actually going to do one other thing too, because there is always the potential we can do a second layer. So I'm going to cut a piece of Coastal Savannah that is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. And then if we want, we can have that. And then that. And then I thought this is really going to be pretty simple. We're going to pull in one of these greetings from this ephemera pack. These ones I like because they're super colorful. So I can usually find something that I feel like kind of goes with what we got going on here. Could pull in the green, all the best. What's this one? Oh, I mean, you could do this one too. Smooth sailing and sunny skies. I kind of feel like maybe just all the best would be good. It's kind of generic. What else have we got? Maybe this one. Thank you for making a difference in my life. That's one of those guys. So happy for you. That one might be cute too. Okay, let's go with one of those. Take those out of the way. Okay, so I am going to adhere this on. Normally I would cut something out of the front of this, waste not, want not. I don't like to put like huge pieces of cardstock where you're not going to see them. I try to use up the middle, but just to keep us on time, moving along here, not taking up your Saturday evening too much, I am going to just place this down, centered. Okay, and then this guy is going to go on here. And then we've got our 3. So we're going to pop those up, and then we can do, I kind of like this one. I like sort of that just tying in there, the so happy for you. Maybe up there though, there's more of a space. So I feel like maybe we're going to pop this in right about here. And then we can do some embellishments. We could also do some twine, I guess. I've got old olive. We could tie in, I don't know, I feel like it'd be weird to pull in the espresso, but okay. So we're going to, I want to pop those up, I think. So let's get some dimensionals. And then I'm just going to start putting them down one at a time. That'll keep my card spacing. So we've got 1, and then I think I'm going to just kind of create this guy down here. Put some dimensionals on this one, and then we will do the middle. I have a couple customers who love plants. They often custom order plant cards. So one reason why this spoke to me, also I've had some people who want sewing, and yeah, so a couple different reasons that I kind of liked this one. I am going to just put another tiny little guy down here. So I tear up my dimensionals all the time. I used to cut them in half. I don't do that anymore, but I do use the edges all the time. Okay, and then this guy is gonna go here in the middle. All right, and then we're gonna do our So Happy For You. So I'm trying to decide now. Could go down here, or it could kind of go in that space. I mean, I feel like it makes more sense down here. So I'm gonna double this guy because I want it to be more than what we already have going on. But on this side, I'm just gonna put the one because it's gonna go right there. So it's just gonna be right here. So Happy For You. Boom. Like, look at how fast that card came together, even with the blending. I mean, super quickly. Although, I mean, I guess it helps if we actually attach it to the front of our card, right? Let's not forget to do that. So you'll notice I never put glue in the middle when I'm using this liquid glue, and that's because I want to be able to have the option to kind of wiggle it around. So I use it when I'm doing these tight borders to allow me to kind of move it so that I get it straight. Okay, super cute. What do you guys think? I think that's super cute. But I would like some embellishments. So as much as these go with this paper, I don't love them for this. So let's find something else. We do not want peppermints. We don't want green. We could maybe use those. Secret Sea. Again, that's pink. Don't want either any of those. That's kind of boring. We've got just our other Secret Sea. Maybe those guys, although, I mean, that's cloud cover. Sometimes I pull out something that's not quite the color, just cause. Okay, let's see. I feel like that's kind of too dark and sparkly. I don't mind those ones. I'm gonna just see what these blue ones look like, the cloud cover. If we don't like them, we won't use them. So, I'm trying to think, oh, what is that? We got a lot of open space here, so I do like these, so I am going to use them. So we can just kind of play around with what, you know, I put this one here to kind of cover up that spot. We could do 5 because we have so much space. But I also don't mind that. I don't mind that sort of just simple 3. So I think I'm gonna leave it. Okay, so there we have it. So I've shown you some new product. We did a little bit of a technique here to create, you know, a panel without actually using cardstock. I actually really like how that turned out. So that is that one card. And then my plan is to do a similar idea. So this, I just wanted to kind of have both ready because this is the other background. So again, I'm going to do the sort of the idea of the 3 squares. I've combined some of these cutouts. So again, we have the Coastal Cabana, we have the espresso, we have our garden green, we have the Secret Sea and the petal pink. So I was maybe going to do something a little bit different on this one in terms of how I create some blending here, and then maybe I will just use some vellum behind that. I'm not too sure. And then we're going to need a sentiment on this one as well. So we could do this one. We could do this one. I'm going to play around with that one. So I'm not going to finish this one here. I just wanted to sort of show you the 2 ideas. But this is this finished card using that sketch and those products. And yeah, hopefully you get some inspiration from that. All right. Thanks, guys. Enjoy the rest of your night.